Okay, just a quick video on this chatbot I've been working on. Um, it's I don't know, I think it's pretty cool. All right, so we'll go ahead and get it started up here. Connects to I'm using Astra. It's a DataStax database, Astra database, to store the chat messages and to do my vector searches. Using OpenAI for the language model that we're sending our request to, and using OpenAI embeddings. So what you see here is the chatbot fires up, and here's our menu. It's got a username that's already set up in there, but there's a couple of things we can do. We can add a document to it from the computer. You have to have your file path. You can add a URL. It'll scrape the website and give you the information back off of it. 3 will give you an exit, and then I don't have any data in the database that's old enough to clean up expired documents. But the way I set it up was if I upload a document from the computer, or I scrape a website URL and have a bunch of data that needs to be put into the database so the chatbot can see it. That data is chunked and embedded, and then when it's inserted into the database, it has a timestamp. All the messages, the chat messages and everything have a timestamp, but the document messages, document chunks that are stored as documents in the database, also get an expiration date. So the number 4 option, when you hit that, it'll scan the database, all of the documents, and then anything that it finds that has a timestamp that's over a week old, it'll delete out of the database. Okay, so here we go. First off, we'll just chat. Just, hi, how are you? Okay. Chatbot says, hello, I'm here to assist you. How can I help today? And let's go. I want to talk about Al Capone. Okay. And now it's printing context. It's doing a vector search of the database, and this has a couple of stages, but this returns what it found for messages that has anything to do with that's similar by vector, and what it found was the human message, hi, how are you? That's the only one that's in there, so that's the only one that it could find. And now that it's replied, it's also put its reply into the database, so it'll probably pull that out next. Hello, I'm here to help you. If you want to talk about Al Capone, feel free to ask any specific questions and let me know what aspects you're interested in discussing. Let's get specific. Tell me about Al Capone in his 30s. Okay, and here it's pulled out. It's going to flip here. Pulled out a couple of messages. It's I want to talk about Al Capone. I'm here to assist you. And then specific question, that's the same reply. And then it pulled out the next, hello, I'm here to assist you. And that's what it's using for conversation context. I'll show you this here in a second. This is the full context. Okay, then it says, in Al Capone's 30s, he was at the height of his criminal career. During this time, he became one of the most notorious gangsters in American history, primarily during the Prohibition era. Capone led the Chicago outfit and was heavily involved in illegal activities such as bootlegging, gambling, and okay, you get the idea. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I have located a web page, and it's at Britannica.com. Al Capone's supposed to be his story. So we're going to copy the URL up here. Go back to here. All right, and then option 2, you can put in a URL. And the wait here is it's reaching out, scraping the website, and then it will send it through the processing, which is chunking the data, and vectorizing each of the chunks and then adding that to the database. And so documents from the URL added to the database. Okay, now let's ask that same question. Tell me about Al Capone in his 30s. Okay, and you can see we got a lot more information here for context. This is our full context now. It has the chat messages in it, and let's see. Let me know what aspects you're interested in discussing. Hits that timestamp. Similarity. Here's another human message. Hi, how are you? Pulled it out for similarities for whatever reason. Okay, and then here we have a document, and there's going to be several of these, depending on how it was chunked. So this is the context it pulled out of it scraped the info from the website, put it in the database, and this is the context that it added to tell me about Al Capone in his 30s. And as you can see, it's quite a bit more detailed. In Al Capone's 30s, he was at the peak of his criminal career. That was part of the answer that it gave before. And then here it pulls one of the most significant events was St. Valentine's Day Massacre. Let's just real quickly go back to the website. Click here, Control F. Valentine. Okay. The most notorious of the bloodlettings was the St. Valentine's Day Massacre, in which 7 members of the Bugs Moran gang. Okay, and then what did it tell us for context? Yep, when 7 members of the Bugs Moran's gang were killed in a brutal attack. So it's pulling information out of this website to answer the question. We can ask a bunch more. Let's just real quickly find something. Philadelphia's Eastern State Penitentiary. Okay, tell me about his stay at Philadelphia's Eastern State Penitentiary. Searches for context. It actually does that pretty quickly. Okay, and then Al Capone's stay at Philadelphia's Eastern occurred after he was sentenced to 1 year in prison for carrying a concealed handgun in 1929. And more data, but here we'll go. Yeah, 1929, Capone was arrested outside a Philadelphia theater for possessing a concealed handgun. So this is I don't know, it's kind of a cool tool. I don't have a document ready, but yeah, we'll just end it here. Thought it was kind of cool. Figured I'd show you guys.